Okay, so we are in the Epstein file. I've just done a mistake, I think. Ooh, almost. Because I am on the working on the fifth of the screen, I am still sequestrated related to the release of information that I provide against DDQ Trump online on a private file. And as a result, I am sequestrated in a university, in the bottom of a university in the, and I haven't been released since then. No one came to free me, which is what they love right now. They have a thing for sequestrating people. And so this is a pattern that we're establishing as well right now. They love to have people uncaged. And so this is why I am currently uncaged. Because they are going about slaves and they want me to be a slave, but I'm not a slave. René Alexander Acosta. Okay, so then we have another deposition from René Acosta, Alexander Acosta. From the 18th of October 2020. Okay, so if it was in 2020, the other one, this means that Diddy Trump has gone into a tirade on being from Harvard because I was looking Suit. I was watching Suit by then. And so this means that he was already trying to siphon me back then, trying to kill me. This is what it means. Okay, so those are all the positions. It looks like the images are all images of the position. 100 pages per 100 pages, no less, no more, or something like that. Around 100 pages each. Something in Florida, Palm Beach here, U.S. Attorney Nancy Siegel. I could have been sleeping by now. They woke me up because they are addicted to my presence. They don't know how to live without me. So Q&A. Flight records indicate that on March 31st, if you could take the count of number 43. Yes, we also saw on page FTA 9525. Yes, we also do have 66. We have interviewed Mr. Epstein's pilots, and one of the pilots indicated that redacted was the one that arranged all of Mr. Epstein's travel arrangement, and so she is responsible for making his arrangement to travel to Palm Beach as well as call the girls for the appointments, as well as calling the girls for the appointments. Count 45, we have flight records that indicate on April 27th 2005, Epstein and blank blank traveled to contact between blank, so redacted and redacted the day before or the day of travel. And we have the sexual conduct between Jeffrey and blank. In count 46, we have flight records that indicate on May 6th, 2005, Epstein redacted traveled to Palm Beach County on the Gulf Stream. We have the telephonic contact between blank offshore reporting service blank. Now, if I could direct your attention to count number 51, which appears on page 33, that is the sex trafficking of a minor involving John Doe number 3. And could you briefly summarize that, the evidence related to that? Could you briefly summarize that, the evidence related to that? So the person answers, as we discussed earlier in count 7, I told you guys about the sexual conduct between Epstein and redacted. The monies that we were paid to redacted by Mr. Epstein, the phone activity we discussed between redacted and redacted, it began in December, and we also have phone calls beginning in January from redacted to redacted. At the time, redacted was 17 years of age, and we also have statements from redacted and redacted regarding Mr. Epstein's knowledge of their age. Investigator, and with respect to the effect on interstate commerce related to that count, we have both the telephone calls, correct? A, yes. Q, as well, Mr. Epstein actually traveling in interstate commerce to engage in this activity, correct? A, yes, we do. Q, is there anything else that you would like to mention about Jane Doe number 3? A, not at this time, no. Q, if I could direct you to Jane Doe number 4, and if you could summarize for the grand jury the information related to Jane Doe number 4's activities. A, Jane Doe number 4 is redacted. I think you wanted their birth dates. Her birth date is redacted. She was 16-year-old and attended redacted. We first have contact through phone calls from redacted to redacted on April 25th, 2004, which indicates and shows that redacted was clearly 16 of age when she started going to Mr. Epstein's and performing massages for Mr. Epstein's. Redacted, or Jane Doe number 1 was the one who recruited redacted. She basically told redacted that she could make $200. She needed to dress cute. This is important. Redacted, or Jane Doe number 1 was the one who recruited redacted. She basically told redacted that she would make $200. She needed to dress cute. to dress cute. He might try to touch you, but if you feel uncomfortable, just let him know that. Just let me fuck, and they try to fuck my brain right now, of course, because they cannot talk properly. You see, and I don't talk fast. So he might try to touch you, but if you feel uncomfortable, just let him know, and he will stop. And the first message that blank did he repeatedly told blank, and I mentioned this to you in the last grand jury session. She was very shy, and he would repeatedly tell her not to be so shy, that she didn't have to be so shy. Epstein asked her to remove her clothing, and she told him no. And throughout the message, he would repeatedly grab at her. Redacted. He did, redacted, through his first message, pulled her through his first message and pulled her clothes. She would pull away, and she was paid $200 for that. Yeah. Upon leaving the first message, Mr. Epstein told redacted that if redacted was willing to do more, she would get paid more. Yeah, this is prostitution, 100%. I was thinking about that episode when I was in Nantes about someone talking about my sexual capacity. And that's basically satanism. At some point, like he was saying, he was mentioning quickly that I was not doing something appropriate, because it was a potential client. And he was mentioning that I was not doing something appropriate, and directly when I was not complying to his view, he would escalate immediately. And that was like death escalation. And I was like, yo, I am the fucking king. What are you doing now? It's like I thought it was just giving me information of how it could work, because I was thinking about selling my sexual services at some point. It's like they are selling my ass online. They have been selling my ass online, thinking that I was their sexual thing, right? And of course, because waste, I'm pretty sure that they sold it like so inexpensively, because inclusivity and all that shit. Good the fucking idiots. And so, meanwhile, like they are submissive to me, but yet because the entire order wanted to keep things together in the way that it pleased them most, then they were majorly like majority major major majority majoritarily. This is fucking what? I can still feel that they increased the thing on my balls and so on. Yeah, they will continue until they're dead, basically. Yeah, they will continue until they are dead. They have to be killed. they have to be killed. So I'm still requesting the Earth to be killed, the humanity to be killed, because they try to place a cognitive block on my brain right now so that I wouldn't escalate and so that I would comply to the situation, or at least wouldn't get angry. I place 1,000 exponential centillion exponential of death right now as punishment on top of the centillion of death that they are collecting absolute uh, on top of the centillion of death, exponential centillion of death that they are collecting every second that's passing by. Now they try to inject the information that living through that many deaths, they would become god of death. So yeah, I was thinking about that, and then here again, we have like some prostitution thing with violence, and that if she would do better, if she would behave better, she would be paid more, basically. Epstein asked her to remove her clothing, and she told him no, throughout blah blah. Upon leaving, the first message Mr. Epstein told blank was if blank was willing to do more, she would get paid more. She also informed blank that if she would bring her pretty friends, she would also pay her for bringing her pretty friends. She told blank that blank would get her phone number. Phone. Blank says that she performed 3 to 4 messages for Mr. Epstein. We have with blank approximately 100 phone calls between blank blank and blank. When I interviewed blank, she became very upset when we got to the sexual message that she did for Mr. Epstein. At this point, this is as much as we know of what occurred with Mr. Epstein and blank. She did 3 to 4 messages, and those last messages became more sexual in nature. He asked her again to remove her clothing. This time she took her shirt off and asked her to take her bra off. She said no. He again would massive blank. He did continue blank. This time she blank. He continued to compliment her and tell her that she had a very nice body and that she was pretty. Blank says that he was very nice and engaged her in conversation, asked her, if she had a boyfriend. in the last message she discusses with me, and this message, Mr. Epstein told her to stop being shy and asked her to take her clothes off, and blank said that she had a boyfriend and she didn't feel comfortable taking her clothes off, and he would tell her, you should know what to expect by now when you come here, and he jerked on her pants as to like jerk them down. So she did on this last message get down to her bra and underwear. Eh? Who's talking here? She described his tone as this time being frustrated and irritated. She stayed in her bra and underwear, but during the massage, she grabbed her bra and pulled it down, and blank he had instructed her to blank while she was massaging his chest. He tried to grab her all over, and he knew that she was upset with this massage. At one point, Mr. Epstein asked her if she had sex with her boyfriend. Blank informs him that she is still a virgin, and he responds, what? You don't like sex? And that's pretty much the way the last message went. That's brutal. That's brutal. And this is the exact same pattern that we have with me and Justin. And the dreams, for instance, they forced me to be with someone else in my dreams. And I see aliens. I guess that this is escalating in the back. So they forced me to be with somebody else in my dreams. And they did everything possible so that they would have someone have sex with me in my when I was asleep. So there is the pattern of abuse, of the relationship again right now that we have, something that gives them a kick, like an extra kick. Because they managed to betray me, my faith, and the one of Justin in our sexual relationship. They managed to waste it, to abuse from it, to abuse from the bound, while I am a master, basically. I am a master, and it's just war. It's war because they abuse of absolutely everything that's possible to try to get me to comply to what they want, but they can't. This is basically what's happening right now. And I've always been mastering the people and Gilles lonely. It's always been like this. I have never been compliant to their shit. It's like Gilles kept telling me about my fucking trash. I never complied. The pimple ended up always, the submissive pimple always ended up cleaning my trash. Like those are basic stuff, but like, oh, he did it. And he was the cleaning bitch of the house, and I never understood why he was placing himself as in a position of a slave. Basically, I never understood that. I was like, why are you victimizing yourself like this? Like you're our cleaning beach now. Like you keep saying that you're cleaning for us. Gilles lonely. So like in this atmosphere, when you are telling me that those people are selling my fucking services, I'm like, I don't, I'm like, no, 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 it's not. What? It's not what's happening. So then letting them attack me, I don't understand. I'm like, the dude was my cleaning lady, basically. So why my cleaning boy, my errand boy, would be my master? I don't get it. What are you saying now? What are you saying? And because they kill people, what? It's like, what? And he was already being targeted beforehand, long before I knew anything about that shit. Because I have never been a slave. I have never been a slave. They always been selling my services while I have never been a slave. So in 2020, he was all over my case already and started to say that he was a lawyer. And you see a bit how it's going on with the sexual services and so on, the abuse. When I see this, I know that Justin has gone through the same shit before having to kill people to get out of this. Like I do now. But I do it through a system that is protecting me. So something about Palm Beach again. So Palm Beach is an important location. Wait a minute. Palm Beach is in Florida. Florida. So Mar-a-Lago, it's close to the Jeffrey Island. So massage. At some point, my favorite porn was some massage, but it was always consensual, and it was the other way around. It was the guy who was seducing the other one with the massage, and not the person messaging who was the prostitute, uh, the person abused. That case, that was like, yeah, perhaps the massage person was a prostitute, but like the person was in charge. So a black girl now to Epstein. I am in FTA 9560. So there are some pawn schemes as well. Recommendation: I recommend you. You get more money if you recommend more people. That's only half an hour on this video, okay? And there are 13 pages, 13 copies. What does he mean by the term compliant victim? The compliant victim is when a victim is not necessarily forced into the conduct that the offender wants them to engage into, that they actually consent to do that kind of activity. So that would include minors who are subjected to sexual activity but were not necessarily kidnapped or forced at gunpoint or something like that. Exactly. So wait a minute, what? So that would include minors who are subjected to sexual activity but were not necessarily kidnapped or forced at gunpoint. To where I stand, visiting someone in their sleep is the equivalent of kidnapping them. You're forcing. You force the person. Let me go and come back. So it's 22:33, and I am preparing some stuff that I'm gonna put on the grid. I have been shutting off some stuff to drag them here, to lure them in, and then they're gonna fall upon this a paper with bloodsheds eviscerated. So I guess they're gonna think twice about it. It needs to be burnt as well on the side. So I'm just saying, stop your shit now. Thank you. Let me check something real quick as well, because there is the data part as well that I didn't check. The images are actually pieces of documents. But then what is the data? What is this? DAT file? What is a DAT file? An OPT file? What is this? Audio, video, what? I don't see my entire screen, so I don't understand all that's going on, but that's something about pictures. What is an OPT file? I don't know what I can open this with. 36.1 kilo octet. Property D81 kilo octet. You don't have much with this. I have something behind the ear as well. The ear. Everything I thought it was. That's gonna be great to finally be with my husband. Yeah, I deserved it. I deserve to be with my husband now. (108 kilooctet, the DAT file of the Epstein file 1, ratio 91%. The second one is 179 kilooctet. I haven't been going through the entire file. OMG. Whoa. The stair motif reminds me of the one of my grandma's. So there are pictures of the house. A thousand picture of the house. It's all in PDF, but and of course I don't know how to open this with a regular thing. It's like on my other computer I knew how to do this. With this one I don't know. It's like Microsoft, it's 100% satanist and impractical on absolutely every level. DDQ Trump has been fucking a bit too much with Microsoft, and so they came back in front later on. Now the 1,000 files are being opened in my browser, I think. while my delicates are being stimulated right now. It wasn't before, but now that I'm doing this, it is. I think that if it's a sport, like it's chocolate, and the thing is called sport. So you do sport, you eat chocolate. What? Perversion to waste your effort after after sport. You deserve your rate of sport. Chocolate. Anyway, I am in a good relationship with rate of sports right now. So I'm opening the 1,005 files, and it's not going as quick as it could. Okay. So there is any error. Oh, it's